Bobby, we really appreciate you coming on. At Nightengale Jr. on Twitter, covers the Reds on a daily basis, does a sick job. How's it going out there? And Dad's there too today, right? You got Big Daddy Bob?
I think I'll see him at the game. He's going to be – I think he's in White Sox camp, so I haven't seen him yet, but I've seen him a little bit this spring.
Cool. Hey, so tell us about the Reds right now. And I know, some in Cincinnati are down about, hey, this team's not going to be contending at all in the Central this year. Try and make Todd feel a little bit better about the Red season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rebuilding team, but I think you can start seeing a little bit of the core come into place, like Hunter Green. He had a nice end of his rookie season. Nick Lodolo, Graham Ashcraft. So, I mean, you have three starters that could be, number 3 or better in a rotation, all under 25 years old. So I think that's something exciting. Jonathan India's coming back from an injury and looks great. Tyler Stevenson, if he's in the lineup 150 games, I think you feel good about him being one of the better hitting catchers in the league. And he's going to play a lot more DH this year to keep his bat in the lineup. And then, I think there's other storylines like, it could be Joey Votto's last season in a Reds uniform. It's his last guaranteed season. He's coming back from an injury right now, coming back from surgery. So he might miss opening day. But, I think there's enough storylines that should get through the season, even if it's a team that's probably not going to contend.
Hey, big dog, Todd Frazier here. Hope all is well. Hope it's warm there, for one. I heard it was cold a while ago. Question for you. Elly De La Cruz, man. I've been hearing a lot about him. I'm a big card collector. I've been collecting his cards, hoping for a big payout down the road here. Talk to me. Does he have a chance of making it out of spring training? I know he's only made it to Double-A for a handful of games. He's been opening up a lot of eyes here lately. So talk to me about Eli.
Yeah, I don't think he has a chance for opening day. They've really kind of pumped he's only played 2 months above A-ball, 2 months in Double-A. Like, let's make it realistic expectations. But, I mean, you can see the tools there. I mean, he's a 6'6" shortstop, would be one of the tallest shortstops ever if he stays at the position. The consistency's not there compared to, like, Kevin Newman's in camp, and Jose Barrero's another young shortstop that's probably going to compete for the opening day job. Those guys are a little bit more consistent defensively than Elly is. But you can see it. I mean, he's probably the fastest guy on the team. His arm probably has one of the strongest arms on the team. Hit 500-foot homers last year. So, I mean, the talent's legit. You can see it all flash, especially in the drills, like base running drills. When he's going first to third, he's so much faster than everybody else. But you can tell he probably needs a little bit more seasoning before he's up. Maybe if everything goes well, I could see midseason.
Bobby, tell me about I'm sure you saw the viral clip of Tommy Pham's response to the slap heard around Cincinnati. Tell me about it. What do you got on it?
Yeah, I mean, that's everything he said when it happened. I remember I was sitting in the press box. I was looking in left field, and I didn't see the slap just because no one's looking in the outfield during batting practice expecting someone to get slapped. But I remember the Reds it wasn't like a bench clearing. You saw guys run from the batting cage and sprint into the outfield. And then you saw people surround Joc. You saw people surround Tommy. I think Tommy got into it a little bit with the Giants pitching coach too. So you could tell something happened. And then when he came off the field, he said, it was about fantasy football. He said some stuff I don't condone. And he's kind of maintained it. And then when you see the video, I mean, he literally just walked up to him and said, I think he just said, he told Joc, do you remember what happened last year? And Joc said, yeah. And then he hit him. So, I mean, it was a crazy time. I mean, it was one of those. It felt like every day there was like something more coming out of it because Tommy had to sit out the first game while MLB investigated. Then he got suspended. And then Joc came out and he was like, it was just he basically played the fantasy football line. And then Tommy was saying, no, it's more about Tex and disrespecting me, disrespecting my teammates. And but I mean, it's just Tommy's personality. I saw the show yesterday. I mean, Tommy's just the guy you don't mess with. And that's him to a T.
Who's the new enforcer?
Yeah, I mean, that's the one where they probably need Elly De La Cruz to come up. I mean, a 6'6" guy just to hold it down like Tommy did. There was one incident, it didn't get as much attention, obviously, as the slap, but Luke Voigt, he collided with Tyler Stevenson at the plate last year in San Diego. And it was Tommy's first time back in San Diego since he came to the Reds, played in San Diego for a few years. And so he collided with Tyler Stevenson. Tyler Stevenson gets a concussion. He's injured. And then post-game, we go to Tommy, just because it was his first game back, and ask him what he thought about the slide. And he goes, it was dirty as hell, starts going off and off. And he says, hey, I know a couple of gym owners out here in San Diego. I know my Ty. If he wants to throw down, I will throw down with Luke Voigt. And if you guys know who Luke Voigt is, I mean, he's like 6'5", 250 pounds. But he was challenging him to a fight post game. I mean, it was one of those like, okay, this is what Tommy's about. And this was in April when they were like 3-20. The season was already kind of gone, and he was already ready to throw down for guys.
I love it. I love it. Bobby, I've known your dad for like well over 25 years, coming up with the Twins. He was always around in the old Metrodome. Give me a story. What's he like off the field? Because I only ever really saw him in the clubhouse. So we have him coming up. What do we need to ask your dad about? Like maybe raising you, how you got in the business? Like, what do we need to ask your father?
Well, you got to ask him about his car. He's had a car since I was a kid. I mean, 2001, 2002 Infiniti G35. He just wrecked it a few days ago. And he didn't tell me about it until 2 days or a day and a half later. So I found about it basically the same time, like after everyone else. People are coming up to me and like, sorry to hear about your dad's car accident. And he's fine. But one of those, he didn't tell me, but he was so devastated he lost that car. I mean, he was willing to put in like money to like try to save it. But one of those totaled like 2001, 2002 cars. But I never got to drive it, barely got to ride in it. So one of those things he kind of valued a ton.
So he didn't take you to the Metrodome in his car and let you follow him around when he was doing interviews, doing all the pregame, postgame stuff. He just said, "No, you got to walk."
Basically, felt like it. Or he'd take my mom's car.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Is that public? Did anyone know? Like you could have scooped it and said, especially because he's okay. Hey, the OG Nightengale ride is done.
Well, he kept going to he went to an event that day. So like other reporters saw him and I think they heard the story. I don't know exactly what it was, but like Bobby Bonilla was behind him, I guess, and saw the whole thing. So the word was spread before I found out about it.
Wow. Hey, I know you got just 1 minute left, Bobby, and we'd love to have you back sometime. We're going to have quite a few Reds on this show coming up soon. Probably easier to do this with Votto, but or someone like Nick Lodolo. Give me something good that these guys can give them shit for. Like what's something Votto's full of stories, but so maybe you do something sneaky on Lodolo. What do you got on those two? You're around them every day.
I mean, Votto's just such a different personality. I mean, he does so many crazy things. He's been leading they're doing like a talent show in the clubhouse, and Votto's been the MC of the entire thing, and heard he's been really getting into character for it, wearing different outfits and everything, really going into it. So that's something. I mean, Votto's Votto, kind of a one-on-one type guy.
Yeah, phrase, Hey, Bobby, thank you so much for doing this. Great having you on, and we'll talk to Dad about the unfortunate loss of the car there in a little bit. All right?
Yeah, you might bring him to tears. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.